Friends of Barça, today welcome to a new video where we're going to talk a bit about how the Football Club Barcelona team is doing today. Flick's team, which has suffered some losses in the last few hours. Valde's absence is significant, as is Gabi's, who is reportedly out for 2 to 3 more weeks. The absence of Frenkie de Jong, who got injured, it seems, with the Netherlands national team. So, well, these are important absences. This still won't be the potential starting 11 that we'll have against Valencia. We'll get a little closer to that Sunday date. I suppose that starting Friday or even Saturday, it will already have the potential starting 11 for the match. It's going to be a tremendous game. They say it won't be at Spotify Camp Nou, but at the Stade Johan Cruyff. Wherever it is, I want you to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and support us as always. And we're going to try, well, to find out which one is going to be one of the possible teams. The truth is that this year we're lucky to have a lot of very versatile players in many areas. And that means that, well, in the end, we're also lucky because of that. Well, that there can be a player who's a winger, like Rafinha, who can play as an attacking midfielder, or a player like Pedri. Well, Pedri, he's actually the one who would change positions the least, right? In the end, having versatile players like Rashford, who can play winger or striker, and Ferran, who can play behind the forward or as a winger, is valuable. Anyway, a lot of players who, by the way, even Ronnie Bargi, who can also be in that starting 11. Rafinha has been with the Brazil national team, as you know. It's crazy. The international break, which in the end, well, didn't really work out for us, as it usually happens, because breaks are never good. Let's take a look anyway also at the league standings so you can see a bit how is everything as of today. This new match day hasn't been played yet. Match day 4 in which Barça will play their game against Valencia. Valencia will arrive in 9th place and Barça is currently in 4th position in the table. I'll repeat, today isn't for potential starting 11s. Instead, it's just a day for you to get acquainted. How the Barça squad is doing right now, okay? We're not going to get into potential starting 11s for Sunday's game yet, because in the end, what we simply want is for you to know how we are doing as of today. Of course, for me, there are no doubts at all. In goal, there's John Garcia. Valde won't be available for the weekend, that's for sure, 100%. So there's a strong possibility that the good Gerard Martin will be the one in that left back position. As right back, I would put Jules Koundé. That's very clear. Also Jules Koundé and the center back pairing, which still raises a lot of doubts. Watch out for Christensen, who scored with Denmark this weekend, and for Eric Garcia, who Flick really likes. Of course, I would say that Kubasi is going to be in 99% of the possibilities. Why? Because he hasn't played with Spain either. And it's true that he didn't play in the match either. I mean, he wasn't a starter in Barca's last game. So, honestly, I want to say, I would really put Eric Garcia here. I mean, for me, Eric Garcia along with Kubarsi. And I'll say it again. I mean, in this team, I still feel like, well, not missing, but both Ronald Araujo and Christensen still fit in perfectly, like I said. But for now, that's what I think. For me, as of today, if I had to play today against Valencia or any other team, taking into account the injuries we have right now in the club, this would be the defense. From my perspective, it's definitely midfield. In this position, Pedri can play, and as I said, Frenkie de Jong won't be available either due to those issues. Those damn issues, because I believe the backbone of Barça is with Pedri and Frenkie de Jong. For me, it should be practically unchangeable this year, whenever possible. When it's not possible, like right now, then we'll have to go with Marc Casado. Hey, that's not so bad, right? So Casado, you know, I love him, right? He's a player I really like. Pedri, Marc Casado. Up front, will it be Dani Olmo or Fermin? Honestly, as of today, for me, Fermin is still ahead of Dani Olmo. I don't rule out that in this situation Barca's in right now with all the injuries, both Dani Olmo and Fermin could play. Even, as we've said, Rafinha, I would act this way and put Pedri next to Casado and Fermin. On the left wing, I would put Rafinha here, but I'll say it again. We don't know how he'll be after those minutes with Brazil. Is he going to play in Bolivia? You know, it's a stadium that also makes the players feel and end up really tired. Ancelotti, is the coach of Brazil, and I think he's going to play him. He has given rest to Rodrigo, Vinicius, Hendrick, and even Militao himself. And I think it's a bit unfair, but what? We already know that's how it is. And in the end, the one in charge is the one in charge, which is the coach. Like I said, Rafinha on the left wing, right wing. I think it's clear that it's Lamine Yamal. They said he finished the match against Turkey with some discomfort, but I think he'll be 100% here. And up front, I'll keep betting on Ferran Torres. I know you're going to tell me Lewandowski, but that would be my team. That would be my team. With Joan Garcia in goal and Gerard Martin, Cubarsí, Eric Garcia, Koundé, Pedri Casado at the base. Move Fermin up, then have Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, and Ferran Torres. Important notes, this is not the potential starting 11 for the weekend. This weekend, you'll have another video, of course. We'll be closer to the match, and we'll be able to know who's available and who won't be available. But for me, honestly, even though I put Cubarsí in that left center-back position, I'd say he shouldn't play much more in that position. It's already been seen that basically since preseason, he hasn't been comfortable. You can see he's not comfortable there. When has he played with Niño Martinez? Of course, if you have a player like Niño by your side, I think it makes things a lot easier for you. But in the end, I think the issue with good old Pau Cubarsí in that left back position, on that left flank of the defense, doesn't really convince me. Even so, I think with Eric Garcia, everything becomes much easier for him. That's my opinion. That's my humble opinion. But, well, I'll say it again. I don't rule out that he could even come in through there. Ronald Araujo, if he comes in, then I think we would all totally agree. 100% yes. It would have to be Pau Cubarsí who plays in that left center-back position. If Christensen is available, then I would move Cubarsí over here and put Chris in here. Okay, the Danish player who also did very well over the weekend, I think he could also be a good option. By the way, Ronnie Bardagi, or however you want to call him, will also be available. Is this going to be the first time Flick will be able to count on him? So I wouldn't rule out that he might even get some minutes over the weekend. But anyway, I'll say it again. This is a possible lineup with options, okay? With a lot of options, because thank God we have a lot of options. But neither Gabi nor Valde will be in it. We've put Gerard Martin in there. For Valde, we've put Gerard in. For Gabi, we've put Casado Bueno. For Gabi or for Frenkie de Jong. Really, since they both play almost the same position. So this is Barca's starting 11 today. I want to know what your starting 11 would be. Which player would you put in? Which player would you take out? So I'll read your comments. Barca yesterday, Barca today, Barca forever. See you in the next video.